He had to share the empire with his greedy ass backstabbing brother. So, it's like I said a couple weeks ago, it's always the ones closest to you that backstab you. They stab you in the friggin' back, they betray you. And I guess it's been going on since time immemorial. Okay, since antiquity, 170. Even BC, BC times. Like what happened to Jesus? I mean, the Romans, Marcus Aurelius, let's see your peoples. Mm, mm. All right, but he wasn't around for that. All right, he's 170 years after. So Ryan doesn't do a lot of telling people where he gets his information from. He just kind of throws it out there, and I don't really like that, Ryan. I think you need to tell people. But according to historians or people with this information, this is, I don't know who they are, but it's understood that whenever Marcus was going through these things, that would drive most people into anger, grief, depression, anxiety. Uh, like me, I've been through all that, and that's exactly how it felt. And I honestly don't doubt that he did suffer from these conditions. Just because he was able to make it through these obstacles doesn't mean he didn't feel a certain way. Like we have emotions. We're humans. He was a human, okay? And his brain worked the same way our brains work. We haven't evolved that much as a species in that amount of time. So I'm pretty sure he felt that way, but they didn't know a lot about naming their feelings, or they didn't know a lot about neuroscience. Um, they're just biological. So I don't think he escaped any of those emotions. I just think maybe he was able to put on a good poker face, or just block it out of his head. Maybe just dissociated. That's my opinion. And that doesn't mean he wasn't able to overcome obstacles, all right? Just like the saying, just because you're scared doesn't mean you're not brave, right? Uh, but I do believe he had traumas. It just seems like he took that chaos and drama and sickness and backstabbing stepbrother, and he used that experience as a learning lesson. And that reminds me of like shame. What is it? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And you gotta listen to that song. I forget what it's called, where they got George Bush on there, and he's like, well, I just won't get fooled again. I'll have to find that song for you. It's a really good song. I think it's J. Cole. Came out in like 2015. Anyway, back to this, not music, like always in my brain. Um, so he took all that in stride and he used it as a learning lesson. Um, so instead of being like a person that is, easily fooled and thinks someone's being sincere, and then they have to sit backwards in the bathroom sink with the mirror to remove the freaking knife that was stabbed in their back by their friends or their family, or maybe their co-emperor stepbrother. All right. Marcus was chill. All right. Apparently he was virtuous. And I wonder how he got that way. Like, I'm thinking, was it nature, nurture? Like, how did this happen? I have so many questions already, and it's just the preface. So, uh, I'm sure we're gonna learn more as the book plays out. I can't wait to find out more. Um, but to sum it up, Marcus had drama and chaos and fake ass friends everywhere. He had no car, no wheels. He was broke as fuck, but he used these lessons in patience, courage, humility, resourcefulness, reason, justice, and creativity. He had to be creative, to get around these obstacles. And if that's not enough, Marcus, you have to go and be chill. He didn't get angry. He didn't ever seem to be bothered in a big way. Um, he wasn't a hater, and he never got salty. So I'm like, who is this magical person that has like no emotions really? I don't know. It just doesn't seem right. But this dude is the Emperor of Rome, so no big deal, right? Rome is the it city at the time. The empire is where it's at, all right? It's huge. Marcus is the co ruler of it all. He's the highest, most powerful person in the world of this time, all right? And the people that he rules over, they think he's worthy of the job. They like him. They think he's doing a great job. So maybe he was this really chill, cool person. And that has to be one of the hardest jobs in the world, especially when people were, I wouldn't say they weren't civilized, but in Rome had, democracy and all that, but it was just different times. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Like it wasn't as easy to track people down now as it or then as it is now. So if somebody like robs you, there's no cameras. You can't go catch them and throw them in jail. So, you know, if there's some sort of mob type retaliation, uh, he's able to handle that. He's able to handle that with some great virtues, and so the people really love him. Ryan goes on to talk about some things that really irritate me, the way he words it and the examples he uses, but he says that the passage that Marcus Aurelius wrote showed up through the ages and through the centuries to come. We still have it in 2023, which I think is pretty awesome. So it must be a hardcore message. It does show some correlation and a trend that it actually does help people. Maybe it is the perfect formula. Uh, the author equates it to Eurocentric and American experiences, which save that for a different day, but I don't disagree. There are many uh, great examples used in Europe and in America, but I think that he could have used other examples. Maybe his agent told him to put familiar places in there so people didn't get confused. I don't know, but I don't know. It just irked me. It irked me that he just used European examples and um, American examples, even though some of the American examples are diverse. Um, so we know Rome fell. All right, it fell hard, and then Ryan skips to the Renaissance. So I'm like, what about the Dark Ages? I like to know how this helped people during those times. What about the stuff going on across the Atlantic? You get the point. Like, there's enslaved peoples. Where are some other places or events or people in history who use this formula to create a bad situation into a good one? And I'm thinking the Count of Monte Cristo, but that's because I like his style. Best served cold. He's a fictional character though in this book about the reign of Napoleon. It takes place in France and a couple other places, but all within that region. So Ryan uses these examples, and I'm gonna have to do another video to give you the examples, and then we'll be done for tonight.